we're going to continue here with settings, and now I'm going to come down, I'm going to click on the next option, blogging. And when we come into blogging, the first thing we're going to see is this post URL format. And what you're going to see is right now, by default, it's going to say /year, /month, /day, /title. Basically what that means is that if I go to my blog right now, and I click on this first project on why creatives must have side projects, what you're going to see is, and what I'm going to recommend to you, is that you just have the title as part of your URL. Because a URL is basically this little, this whole thing right here. And by default, what it's going to do is do the year, the month, and the day. So if I didn't change this option, it would say 01/16/2015/ why creatives must have side projects. So if I didn't do what I'm about to show you, which is delete those other options from the URL format, all of my blogs have this really big, long URL, which I'm not a huge fan of. I prefer to have it as short as possible. So what I'm going to do is basically just delete all of these, so that way it really is just /blog/ the title of the article. And to do that, I'm literally just going to come in here and hit backspace. Just delete each of these, the /year, /title, all of that. And what we're just going to end up with is this title. And this is the option that I have on my site right now. And so when you go to my blogs, what you see is /blog/ why creatives must have side projects, the title of the article. Next, I'm going to show you how to link Disqus, the commenting system that I mentioned previously, to your Squarespace site. So we're still here under the blogging option. And what I'm going to do is I need to enter my Disqus short name. So the first thing I need to do is head over here to Disqus, and I recommend setting up a site or setting up a profile for yourself, which I'm not going to walk you through all that. I think you can register for a profile on your own. But what you're going to want to do is once you are logged in, come down here, click on your profile, and hit admin. And once you're here in this Disqus dashboard, I can click on this link right here and add a new website. So my site is website without code. I have website without code.disqus.com, but it is taken. So I'll make Jake's website without code. And this one is not taken, so that is nice. I can choose, and we will say that this is a business website. And we're going to finish the registration here. And once we come through there, it's going to ask us to integrate with a platform. And so here you can see this Universal Code, WordPress, Blogger, Typepad, Tumblr, all these things. But we're going to click this beautiful Squarespace icon right here in the middle. Click on that. And now it's going to show us basically the setup instructions for Squarespace. And what we're going to have is basically, again, it's going to tell you how to admin settings general, which this is actually a bit dated on their website. Squarespace has changed. As you see, we're now under the blogging option, so this is incorrect. Disqus, you guys need to update. But the handy thing here is it's going to give you your short name. And your Disqus short name is really all you need. So I'm going to copy this little short name right here. I'm going to paste this right here into the Squarespace account. And we have just right there linked Disqus. Our commenting system has totally been replaced by Disqus. The internal Squarespace commenting system has now been swapped out for Disqus. So very, very simple. The last thing on this page is we have simple liking. There's a little option on blog posts where someone can say, I like your post. That's cool. And you can choose to have that or not. And then here's also if you say don't have your Disqus short name, which I'm actually going to leave this out for a second because to show you, but say you don't use Disqus. And we come down here to the comments and settings. We can actually set a handful of comment settings on our site. Like we can enable comments globally, or we can disable it, and there's literally no comments on our website, so our blogs are just kind of articles, but there's no comments on them. We can allow people to like comments. We can require an approval, and this means that everything's going to go in that moderation queue prior to actually appearing live on your website. You can choose whether you want people to anonymously comment or whether they have to put in information. Threaded comments, can people respond to other comments? You can have a thread where someone starts a discussion and everyone just kind of keeps playing off of that. Whether you want avatars to show or just text next for the comments. And then whether you want to enable comments, or you can actually disable or enable comments as you go through and publish each blog post. So on this next option here, auto disable comments default value, I'm going to be straight up honest and tell you I don't know what this does. Simple as that. We're just going to move on. I don't quite know. I'm thinking that that's how long it takes and a moderated comment will just disappear, but I could be wrong. Obviously I've never used it, so I don't think it's too terribly important. You can choose your comment sort order, which is, do you want to have your newest comments, your most liked, your least liked comments first? And then do you want people to be able to flag comments and set that? So, and then choose the number of comments. If a comment receives one flag, then it's automatically set to awaiting moderation. Or maybe you have a high traffic site, and if 5 people flag it, then it's it goes into the awaiting moderation section. So some simple things around how you can edit your comments there. We're just going to save this. Come back here to blogging. We are going to, I accidentally clicked the little Disqus link, so I'm just going to hit back. And that'll bring me right back here to Squarespace, right back where I was. And we're just going to paste in that Disqus short name, hit save, and we have now set that up. And we can still go into this comments and moderation setting, and even if we have Disqus enabled, all of these options are still, you can still kind of set all these options here on your website. So that's all we have here on the blogging section. SEO, search engine optimization. This is basically about your Google rankings and how you show up when someone types in relevant keywords to Google. So we're going to click on SEO. And here you can enter in a short description for your website. So again, this is a very handy way to put some keywords in here, stuff that you'd want to be searching for. But try to not just, pile it with keywords, but try to actually describe your website a bit, make it something readable. Google doesn't like when stuff is just crunched with keywords. It actually prefers real kind of organic content. And then also, if you're ever in this SEO section, I highly recommend you clicking this link about how to increase your search engine visibility. I'll go through this in more detail, but it has changed over the life of Squarespace as they've rolled out new options. But this is basically, this page tells you everything about how to optimize your site for SEO. There's a few other tricks I'll show you along the way, but it's a good place to start. Next, we're going to come down here to the homepage title format. Honestly, probably your very low likely chance that you will change this, but if you want to, you can kind of hover over here, see a bit more about it, but I doubt you're going to deal with this too much. Next would be a collection title. So this is actually pretty handy. So say you have a collection title like the /blog, or a gallery or something like that, and someone goes to a blog post. This is basically choosing again, how do you want this to show up? Do you just want to have the site name / the URL, or do you want to have your site name / blog / the name of the article? So again, if you get rid of this, shortens your URL even more, and you won't have that /blog in there. And then these are individual things, again, like the blog post. Again, you can just shorten this if you want, or you can have the item title in there as well. Again, not hugely important things, but if you're getting serious, you're building a blog, a lot of content, these are things that are worth looking into. Next, we're going to come down here to security. And this is a really handy feature, but say your site is in draft mode. If you type a password in here, and basically what this will do is anytime someone comes to your website, they have to enter a password to look at the site. And that's really handy, say if you're building a new version of a website or you're working on a high-profile project and you don't want people to know. It's a kind of a cool way to just hide it, and you guys can kind of work on it internally, and no one can see it unless they have this password. Billing an account. This basically you're going to come in here, and if you want to see your invoices, how much you've paid, you want to look at the history of your login, or you just want to delete the website, you can do that all here. And you can also come in here and just enter your billing information. I'm doing this on a demo site from Squarespace, so it just says this is a free site. But otherwise, you can come in here and click on your billing information and enter in all of that payment and everything. And last, we're going to come down here to Advanced, which, oh, guess what? It opens up a whole bunch more. But I'm going to go through these pretty quickly. Not a huge deal. 404 error, page not found. This basically means if someone goes and they make a typo on your site, or you have a dead link, you can basically send this to a system default which says we couldn't find the page you were looking for. Or what I do on my site is instead of sending them to an error page, I send them to just straight to the home page. And that way, if they have a dead link, it brings them back to the home page and hopefully doesn't totally just send them off or think that my site is broken. So simple little thing there. I'm going to hit save. Head back here. Default text editor. Probably aren't going to want to mess with this unless you know how to write Markdown, which is kind of a blogging type format for writing really quickly. So probably not going to worry about that. Escape key. This is really cool, but if, I'll show you right here, I go to just jakejorgovin.com. I'm not even logged into Squarespace or anything right now, and I just hit escape. It literally takes me and I can start working on my website. If I weren't logged in, it would ask me to log in, but I'm already logged in, so that is a cool thing. Some people don't like it, but you can turn that off if you want to, and you just have to go to squarespace.com to log in. But honestly, I like it. I think it's pretty handy. ImportExport. If you want to export your site, you can export it in basically a WordPress format. And Squarespace does this because pretty much if you have it in a WordPress format, you can upload it to almost any other platform. So if you ever need to move your site off of Squarespace, you can export all the content, the blogs, all that kind of stuff. You can also import content. So we can come down here and you can import from Squarespace version 5. You can import from WordPress, Tumblr, Shopify, Etsy, Blogger, Big Cartel. So if you've already got a site on one of these platforms, you can just pull all your content right over. So really, really simple. We're going to head back over here, and we're going to go to External Services. And we're going to show you how to set up your Google Analytics account number. You can enter that in here. Or your Amazon Associate tag. I'm probably not going to dive too much into Amazon Associate. You can Google that if you need to. It's really simple. You actually just put your associate tag right there. And then in a later video, I'm actually going to show you how to set up Google Analytics on your website as well. But also really simple. You literally just enter in your Google Analytics account number. So very simple stuff. Next, we're going to come down here, developer mode. You're not going to touch that because that is actually if you want to open up Squarespace and mess with the code and everything. And this class is called Website Without Code, so I'm assuming you're probably not going to want to go to the developer mode. Code injection, you're probably not going to deal with this either, but if you need to put in some custom HTML or CSS, or you need to put in, say, some code in your header for a specific little app or widget you want, you can put that in there as well. Again, hopefully you're not going to have to deal with this, but if you need to, that's how you do it. URL mappings, again, probably not going to worry about this stuff. A little advanced image. Importing, probably not going to worry about this stuff as well. A little more advanced for the Website Without Code class. And wow, we have just made it through the settings panel. Super exciting. That was a lot, I know. But guess what? The next one I'm going to do in one click. If I ever just need help, click on this help button, and it takes me to help.squarespace.com, where I can search their knowledge base. I can look at their workshops, get involved with their community, or just submit a ticket or anything if I need to. So again, that one, very, very simple. And we have just completed our tour of Squarespace. So incredibly simple. So I hope this was helpful. I know it was a lot of detail, but I think getting a strong understanding of where everything is at, how to navigate through it, is going to help you going forward. And in the next sections, we're really going to start diving into actually editing the pages, editing the content, getting stylized, doing all the fun stuff, and starting to actually make a site that looks pretty good. So hang with me, it's about to get fun.